Welcome to the third part of atherosclerosis. In the second part of atherosclerosis, we have seen into the pathogenesis or the process through which this plaque develops. Let us summarize what was the process through some brief points. The very first key event, as there were two hypotheses related to the development of atherosclerosis, the very first hypothesis was regarding the development of fatty streak, and the second one was regarding the damage to the endothelial tissue, which is caused by lipoproteins, hypertension, diabetes, and components of cigarette smoke. Endothelium becomes more permeable to lipoproteins, and here in this case the lipoprotein is cholesterol associated with protein. Lipoprotein moves below the endothelial layer and endothelium loses its cell repellent quality. Inflammatory cell move into the vascular wall. So these are the key events which are related to development of atherosclerosis. Now, as we have seen, there is a process of inflammation. So we need to know the triggers for inflammation in atherosclerosis. Now what happened to the LDL? That is the LDL which was retained in the intima undergoes oxidative modification. We have considered this point earlier also. Lipid hydroxyperoxidase, lysophospholipidase, carbonyl compound localizes in lipid fraction. So these are associated compounds found there. Oxygen free radical inactivates nitrous oxide rapidly. So what happens is nitrous oxide plus superoxides gives peroxide nitrates. Nitrous oxide has no longer vasoprotective function. So the vasoprotective function of nitrous oxide is neutralized by the oxygen free radicals present there. So the inflammatory process is basically getting governed by deposition of lipid, production of oxygen free radicals, and neutralization of the protective mechanism in the form of nitrous oxide. Now the development of atherosclerosis. Now we have a pictorial diagram. I will tell you the minute details written there. The dysfunctional endothelial layer, which was getting dysfunctional due to some injury. Now what happened? Expresses adhesion molecules. These adhesion molecules are selectin mediated and the rolling interaction of cell. Now what are the key molecules involved? That is VCAM1, that is vascular cell adhesion molecule, which promotes monocyte adhesion, that is precursor of macrophages. Monocyte will later get converted into the macrophages. Cell are stimulated by monocyte attractant protein, that is MCP. These monocyte crosses the endothelium, settle down in the layer of intima. What is happening here is, that is this is the leukocyte, that is monocyte, which is getting attached here, and later on these attachment, the cell will roll up and enter into the layer of intima. Now what happens is nitrous oxide inactivation due to oxidative stress. Now these oxidants which are present inside will neutralize nitrous oxide, and due to this, that is the vasoprotective function of nitrous oxide gets stopped. Other than this, xanthine oxidase and NADPH and NADH oxidase produces oxygen species in macrophages, which in turn will stimulate angiotensin II, which is a key mediator for oxidative stress in vascular wall. In the early stage process, the reactive oxygen species are released from endothelium, whereas in the later process, these are produced by the macrophages. So the damaged or dysfunctional endothelium earlier will release oxygen species. These oxygen species will neutralize nitrous oxide, and the protective function of nitrous oxide gets hampered. And later on, these oxygen species would be released from the macrophages, which are engulfing lipoproteins. So now as the nitrous oxide availability has been reduced and there is an increase in the oxidative stress, that leads to tyrosine nitration of protein in vessel wall. Now what happens to the tyrosine nitration, that is nitrotyrosine and oxidized LDL, activates transcriptional factor, that is necrotic factor kappa B, nuclear factor kappa, light chain enhancer for activated B cell. This particular factor will increase the proliferation of VSMC, that is vascular smooth muscle cells, reduced nitrous oxide bioavailability and enhanced oxidative stress. So what is the sequence that is happening? Oxygen species were more, it reduced nitrous oxide bioactivity, which in turn activated this particular factor, which will increase the proliferation of smooth muscle cell. So this increases cytokine production, and these cytokines are interleukin, tumor necrotic factor, MCP first, and interferons. And monocytes are getting attracted. These monocytes will get converted into macrophages, which in turn will consume or phagocyte oxidized LDL and convert into foam cell. So this is a sequence. As you can see, these are the blood monocytes. They are getting adhered to VCAM first, that is the cell receptor. They will move into rolling in mechanism can be seen. Now these will convert into macrophages, and you can see that is these yellow dots are the lipoprotein or the cholesterol based lipids. They will get absorbed and this will convert into the foam cell. And as the foam cell will necrotize or get destroyed, this all absorbed fat will form the lipid core of atherosclerosis. Now the resident monocyte acquire characteristics of tissue macrophages. These monocytes which came from the blood will get converted into the macrophages. Macrophages express scavenger receptors for oxidized LDL. That we have seen in the diagram that how macrophages were absorbing the lipoproteins here. Internalized lipoprotein particles, macrophages change to foam cell. Now foam cells secrete pro-inflammatory cytokines. This process amplifies local inflammation and reactive oxygen species. So this will add on to the effect, and more monocytes would be attracted. More amount of oxygen species would be made. These oxygen species will neutralize nitrous oxide, and which in turn will exaggerate the overall effect of atherosclerosis. T cells are activated by antigens, that is oxidized LDL heat shock protein, and produce cytokines. Cytokines influence behavior of other cell present in the atheroma, where that is the surface receptor like CD154 binding to CD40 ligands expressed on macrophage induce the expression of other cytokines like tissue factor. So this is an overall view how this is happening. You can see here, this is the monocyte which is getting adhered to the surface receptors present here. This will move into inside the tunica intima. Now this monocyte will engulf oxidized LDL. This oxidized LDL engulfed macrophage will convert into a foam cell. This foam cell will get destroyed and convert into the lipid core. So this is a site for development of atherosclerosis. Now again, as a part that this particular macrophage will secrete more amount of nitrous oxide, which will in turn will stimulate these smooth muscle cells to multiply or replicate. So there is a deposition of these smooth muscle cell also in the atherosclerotic plaque. So the lipid entry into the atrial wall is the key process of atherogenesis. Hypercholesteremia, factors like VCAM1 and MCP1 induction, LDL and VLDL, that is low density lipoprotein and very low density lipoprotein, are atherogenic, enters vascular wall more easily. LDL in the plasma are protected against oxidation by vitamin E, ubiquinone, and plasma antioxidants like vitamin C and beta carotene. So these are food supplements that you can advise if a person is having high level of LDL. Then in order to prevent that LDL to get oxidized, you can suggest vitamin E and B and C. Vitamin C, A and E. Out of plasma, LDL, phospholipase and fatty acids do oxidize. Activated macrophages produce enzymes like lipooxygenase, meloperoxidase, NADPH oxidase, which in turn will form the reactive oxygen species. So activated macrophages are those which have engulfed the oxidized LDL. Oxidized LDL are cytotoxic to endothelial, mitogenic for macrophages. So what oxidized LDL will act as a precursor or a stimulant for injuring the endothelial cell. Again, as oxidized LDL are formed, more injury will occur to the endothelial cell. It will attract more monocyte, more deposition of platelets, and it also have mitogenic activity, that is, they will increase the number of macrophages present in the intima. Oxidized LDL, apolipoprotein, ApoB100, binds to scavenger receptors. So this is the name of the receptor present on the macrophages, which will allow or enable the macrophage to phagocytize oxidized LDL. Scavenger receptors are not subjected to regulation by intracellular cholesterol level. Macrophages take up oxidized LDL and get overloaded with lipid. Now, foam cell ruptured, that is by the process of apoptosis, programmed cell death. Once the macrophage has engulfed too much amount of oxidized LDL, and naturally it will undergo the process of necrosis, where the foam cell will die and rupture and release the content into the layer of intima. So this lipid released in the intima and their accumulation becomes a center for atherosclerotic plaque. So this plaque formation will occur by the release of lipids in the foam cell. So it's like a natural death process for the macrophages after the accumulation of oxidized LDL. The lipid center and the fibrous cap are the main part of mature atherosclerotic plaque. Plaque emerges from structurally changed vascular wall. So as you can see here, this yellow structure is the lipid core, and there is a cap placed on it. This cap is basically the endothelial layer having depositions of fibrin in it. So-called vulnerable plaque ruptures easily. Suppose if the layer of this fibrin or the fibrous cap is thin, so they are vulnerable or easily available for rupture, and thrombus is thus formed. Plaque growth periodically accelerated by cycle of plaque rupture and thrombosis. So this plaque is not a static structure. It will keep on increasing in size as a part of deposition of lipid in it. So active macrophages and T lymphocyte preferentially reside at the edge of the plaque. So these are contributing to the size of plaque. Macrophages secrete enzyme, degrade extracellular matrix of the cap, and T cell activated by macrophages secrete IFN, and that is pro-inflammatory cytokine, interleukin 1st and 2nd, and TNF alpha also. This you can see, this was the normal artery, which again got converted into an atherosclerotic plaque. Here you can see this plaque is increasing in size. If this gets ruptured, it releases a thrombus, or if it's not rupturing, it will occlude the artery to such an extent that the supply gets completely blocked. Suppose if this structure or this atherosclerotic plaque is getting developed in the coronary artery, a complete blockage or maximum blockage or a partial blockage can lead to myocardial infarction. So MI is a result of atherosclerosis. Thank you. That was all about atherosclerosis and its pathogenesis and how does the process occurs. We'll meet with a new topic of cardiovascular system in next session.